guys, today we're gonna have some tteokguk and kimbap. Homegirl has been sick for a bit. I just got back from Cabo and I missed you guys a lot. It was the most wonderful time. I spent the time with my in-laws, my husband, and it was my birthday weekend, so it was very good. But I got sick on the very last night. Thank goodness it was the last night and not during the trip. So I've been eating a little bit of like more bland food. So today we're gonna have tteokguk. Tteokguk typically it's like a New Year's Korean soup. However, I added broccoli and juk. Juk is porridge, like rice porridge, and broccoli in here just to add on to what I've already been eating. So I'm gonna make a bowl right now and I'll show you guys the dumplings. And this is the rice cakes. Typically it's a long cylinder and then they just cut it. And then this is beef dumplings as well. Okay, right, let me show you guys what it looks like. Okay, this is my husband's bowl. Okay, all right guys, this is the tteokguk with the broccoli, and I added a little bit of juk in there to give it some thickness. Well, the tteok will already give it some thickness, but and then this is my kimbap with no egg. Okay, I have bulgogi and veggie kimbap. They look very identical. If this is the beef, this is burdock, and then there is no beef here. So that's the main difference. But yeah, should be great. Bon appetit, guys. I'm gonna make a bowl for myself as well. Typically, we garnish with seaweed and eggs. I've been eating like jello and saltine crackers and porridge, so I wanted to change it up because besides the meat, I mean, it's pretty much the same, right? It's the starch. Okay, that's my bowl. I'll go ahead and start eating. Let's eat. Bon appetit. So get some tteok. This is rice cake. Good. Ooh. Dumplings are so good. I love how it's like gentle on your belly. So good. Did you know Trader Joe's sell this kind of tteok? I was so shocked when I saw it the first time, but guys, just get it at H Mart. It's more cheap. But I guess if you have a Trader Joe's and you don't have an H Mart, you can get it there. It's pretty much the same thing. I feel like the H Mart tteok is more thicker though. You can stir fry, you can make soup. You can even heat it up and drizzle like some honey, a little bit of sesame seeds if you like, a little bit of salt, and eat it that way too. Shall we kimbap? Let's kimbap. Kimbap, doobie-dap, bap, boop, bap, kimbap. It's so interesting because I've been eating like very soft food recently and then getting those vegetables and textures back in. It's really good. Guys, if you have a chance to go to Cabo, it's so nice. Guys, did I tell you that I almost died in Cabo with my in-laws? So in Cabo, there's like these flags by the beach and you have to look at the flags. If it's like red, it was always red while we were there. And if it's red, there's supposed to be like danger, like tide waves danger. And it's strong, guys. We were out there taking pictures and my mother-in-law, she's a professional photo taker. She's like getting her little phone out and like, poof, poof, poof. And then the photos are amazing. You know, chef's kiss. And she was like telling me, oh, you gotta take the photo when the water comes in so it looks pretty in the photo. And I'm like, okay, mother-in-law, I got you. We were thinking that we were just gonna go knee deep and wait for the waves to come in. Like that's how much like the tide waves are like coming in strong, right? You just stand there and literally the water just go whoo, you know, right over your knees. And so she was like, okay, and then the sun is here, so we need to take the photo here. So I was taking the photo and I was waiting for the water to come, right? I'm looking at the phone because I need to focus, you know, get that timing right. Oh my goodness. The water came, my mother-in-law's a petite woman too. The water came in like midsection, like her, like right where her waist is. And she's a petite woman, so she starts like becoming a little bit of tumbleweed, you know, because she couldn't stand her ground because the water comes in and then also it takes that water and sand and rushes back out. And then she was like, my father-in-law, he was holding her and then she was like becoming tumbleweed and I'm the one like that was taking the photo, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I like go into like try to like, you know, save her because she's like, oh my gosh, you know, she's freaking out. And I'm like, okay, I need to go get her. But like the thing is, you're not supposed to move when the water goes out, right? Or else, you know, you're gonna lose your footing because the sand underneath you disappears too, right? So in order to save her, I was like, oh my gosh, I was running over. And then she puts her phone up to me to save her phone because like she lost her footing. So she's kind of on her knees, kind of in the water type thing, being tumbleweed, but she has her hand up here and holding onto her husband, the other hand trying to save her phone. So I'm trying to grab her, but she hands me her phone. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I take her phone in one hand and try to grab her in the other. And then somehow I become tumbleweed too because like, you know, I guess I missed my footing trying to get closer to my mother-in-law to help her. And so, yeah, we almost died because the water came up so high in an instant too. It was like just at her knees, right? But then it became at her waist. And so we lost our footing and then, and I was thinking to myself at that moment, it's like, oh my gosh, this is why people die because the waves are unpredictable and it comes in so strong and goes in so hardcore. And I was like, okay, but I know how to swim, so I'm not gonna die. So I wasn't freaking out that much, but I also lost my sunglasses. And I was like, oh my gosh, my sunglasses. And then my mother-in-law's shoe somehow flew away. But then my father-in-law, he doesn't even know how to swim. And he went and got my sunglasses and my mother-in-law's shoe. I was so like touched. I was like, oh my gosh, he went in there and saved my sunglasses. And I was so grateful. Oh my goodness. But yeah, one advertisement guy, he was like selling stuff. He came in to save us. So did an American looking man. But I don't think he was American. He was very fair in color. And I don't know if he spoke any English, but I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Because once you lose your footing when the water goes out, forget it. You can't, yeah. You become tumbleweed in the water. But yeah, I was so grateful. Like they were tourists too. And then some people were locals. They don't know us. And by the way, we probably had said no, thank you to his services when he approached us because, you know, it's just like that at the beach. Like you get merchants of all kinds and all generations and all ages. You get kids, you get adults, like male, female, doesn't matter. But everyone's so nice. The merchants are nice though. I will say, I was expecting some of them to be a little bit aggressive or assertive, but they were like, ma'am, no, yes, okay, well, have a good vacation. Or they were saying nice things. And I kind of felt bad and I was like, but I did buy from some of the merchants. But I will say, I loved my Uber driver. One of them were so interesting. He had the most interesting like stories. I don't know if it's because I love chefs or like I love people who can cook, you know? I love artists. That's what I love. Like I love people who like poetry. I love people who like art. I love people who can cook, you know, because they all have some appeal to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe my common interest. But he was watching Culinary Class Wars too, and he's a private chef. And I was like, dang, that's so cool. I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, if I run into him again, like, or like plan on going back to Cabo, I should have requested to do a cooking class with the man, you know? Because I've been wanting to. Like, unfortunately, my husband, he doesn't like cooking. But I really want to go to those countries and do like a cooking class, you know, get to know how to cook their food, you know? But oh my gosh, how romantic is tango? Salsa. I saw some Miss Jalisco do a very traditional dance too. She was pretty cool. I like her dress. And then they have these special tap shoes that are almost like boots. But I was like, oh my gosh, how are your feet not killing you? But man. And you guys have to take a boat. Please, if you go to Cabo, please go on a boat. If you can't handle seasickness, but you can handle a little bit, go on a bigger boat. We went on the Cabaret and the bigger boat didn't shake as much. And then tip here is if you eat the dinner, which we ate the dinner at the Cabaret, try to get a table in the middle. Don't get a table on the side because it will shake when the boat shakes a little, but the middle shakes less. And then don't get one in the front or the back. And then they had music on the top floor. But let me tell you, if you go on the boat, you can take your pictures at the top, right? But once you get close to the arch or Divorce Beach or whatever rock area you want to take a photo at, go to the bottom. Go to the bottom floor. There's 3 benches there, and once you get close to that arch, you look so close to the arch. You can take photos. My mother-in-law, like I was taking it while we were on the other side of the arch, so it wasn't that close. But my mother-in-law took a photo and it was super close to the arch. And it's the closest anyone can get. And no one was down there. Everyone was upstairs popping to music, you know, and drinking with the live music. But I'm telling you, if you like the quieter spots and the better views, go down to the bottom. There's some staff there too. They're so nice. The entertainment was so good too. The food, it was okay. Not really great, but the entertainment was so good. I loved it so much. I was like, wow, it's such a romantic dance and music and singing and handsome people, beautiful women. And let me tell you, our taxi driver told us something very special about getting souvenirs. We were like, oh, where can we go to get some souvenirs for like, you know, Cabo? And he was like, anything you can find in the market, you can find at Walmart. And we were like, really? Oh my gosh. But yeah, most of this like the shot glasses and cups and stuff you can find, and it's much cheaper at Walmart. And I will say that the souvenir shops do rip you off. And they know that they rip you off. So don't go like buying souvenirs at the first store you visit. You need to go around and check the stores and then see the store that has the prices on there, whether it's Mexican dollars or US dollars, and then kind of get a grasp of what the market price is. Because if there's no price on there, they're gonna just call it. They were trying to sell me one shot glass for 10 American dollars, right, honey? Yeah. And then at another store, they were selling like the shot glasses too. So like all the stores have the same stuff, you know? And I ended up getting 3 shot glasses for $14. But the sign that they had at the store was 3 shot glasses for $18. But they bartered with me because I was like, you know, that's too expensive. And I was going to walk off and she was like, no, no, no. I make it cheaper for you. That's how it worked with everything. You walk out and then they were like, I was like, oh no, too expensive, I'm sorry. And then they'll hold on to you and be like, no, no, I give you cheaper price. I give you cheaper price. And so like, and I'm not sure if I got ripped off when I bought my mom's dress. I bought her like some dress from Mexico. Can you pass it over here? I don't want to get food on it. I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it right here. But the lady told me that her grandma made it, but it came out of a plastic bag and there was multiples of it. So me and my husband are a little bit skeptical, but like, you know, maybe her grandmommy just made a lot, you know? So she told me it was $50, 50 USD dollars. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. And then she was like, oh, it's hand stitched. So she showed me the insides and I was looking around to see if it was machine stitched. It was hand stitched. And then she was telling me that she'll give me a discount. And I was like, okay. And I was like, are you gonna give me an additional discount if I buy another one? And then she was like, because I wanted to buy one for my mother-in-law, but my mother-in-law told me not to get one for her. So I just told her like, okay, how much? And then so she said 45. It went from 50 to 45. And then I was like, okay, if I buy another one, how much cheaper? And then she was gonna give it to me at 40. But, you know, I mean, I do want her grandma to make a living off of, you know, making the embroideries. But I was like, I think I'm gonna get ripped off. But, you know, it's all part of it, I guess. But they were selling some like swimsuit cover-ups for $40 that looked like it could be selling for like 20 in the US. So I was thinking, oh, maybe it is a fair price though. But man, I will say, if you go to the touristy parts of close to the waterfront, prepare yourself. Did you guys watch the Emoji Movie? When they walk into the spam folder, it's just like constant ads like hit you in your face. Well, that's how the merchants were while we were passing them. They were like, señorita, señorita. And I'm like, And if I saw something cute and my eye was like this, they would be like, I'll give you a good deal. And knowing me, I have to guard myself because I know I'll be like, oh really? And then talk to them and buy it, you know? So I have to be like, oh no, 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 thanks. But it was the best. There's a restaurant called Sunset Mona Lisa. Oh my goodness. We went there on my birthday day in Cabo. My husband found it. Oh, so beautiful. Pictures do not do this place justice. It was a reservation for $5.15. And you see the sun up in the sky, the arch, the rocks, the water, everything, right? And then you see the sun set. And then you see the sun down. And we saw Venus, 금성. And it was right above. It was the first star to show. My father-in-law was telling us that 금성, the Venus, only shows like 265 days a year or something like that. And it's the third brightest thing besides the sun and the moon. And then it's 금성, which is Venus. And he was like, oh, it's because of your birthday, you know. I put in a prayer request to have it show for your birthday. I know he was just joking, but it was nice. I was like, oh, that's 금성. I loved it so much. It was such a beautiful time. I feel the breeze. I remember how it felt on my skin and the views. And then at sunset, I'm not sure if it's at sunset or something, but they have these men come out, the waiters, and they have these conch shells that are large, and then they go woo, woo, and at every side, and it's very beautiful. They have like a gong too. They go gong, and then they go woo, woo, and then they have musicians singing and stuff. It was really nice. I loved it so much. It was so beautiful. I loved it so much. And the food portions were really good. It wasn't small at all. I thought I would go home and to the hotel and have to go to the snack lounge bar, but no. All the staff were really nice too. First day we went there, we got confused on our hotel room number and we put all of our stuff there and we're trying to open someone else's door thinking it was our door. They tried to help us, but we didn't even know the number. Eventually we found our hotel room, but it was so nice. I loved Cabo so much. But guys, is it me or is Cabo very humid? Because I washed something, like I washed like my underwear and like my leggings so I can wear it like for our hike or something later, and it never dried. Yeah, I probably should have just got my hair dryer and dried it, but that was on the first day, and then on the last day it still was not dry, so I was like, oh, what's going on? This is manuka honey and ginseng. We bought these ginseng chips from Costco like a year ago, and we just pop a couple in. If you put too much, it's bitter. And then we put some manuka honey. Hopefully it's not expired. It's not 2025, right? Yeah, it's not expired. I was like, oh my gosh. For a second, I thought it said 10/25/2024, but it said 2025. Whew. Because I made my husband a cup too. But I love ginseng. It warms your body up. I think ginseng works really well with me. Me and my sisters, I think. My mom likes ginseng too. It warms up my body. Oh, I love it so much. Gives me energy. Do you know what one of my first words in Korean was 떡국, meaning 떡 is rice cake and then guk is soup. This dish right here. Alright guys, thanks for joining me on today's mukbang, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!